Thank you, Your Honorable Mayor. Thank everybody for coming out. I want to just quote something from the Bible real quick, then I'll move forward. Jesus came and whooped them out of the temple because he said, "You turn the house of God into a den of thieves." I got a report from the Department of Treasury from the village of Stevensville. Y'all heard about Stevensville?
Yeah. A little bit.
All right. The findings, non-compliant with the state statutes. No one from the village prepared or submitted the reports. This from the state. Goes on to say village council members did not know they were in a deficit until audits were completed. No one in the village prepared or submitted a report. This is the village of Stevensville here. For the purpose of this letter, professional standards define a disagreement with management as a financial accounting, reporting, and auditing matter, whether or not resolved to our satisfaction. That could be significant to financial statements or the audit report. Keep on going. We direct the village to begin withholding Medicare and Social Security taxes from all employees, which was not being done. Let's keep on going. Also talks about this condition was caused by the village decision that it's more effective to outsource the preparation of its annual financial statements to the auditor than incur the time and expense of obtaining necessary training, and expertise required for the village personnel to prepare. It says also that the village manager, who had total control over all accounting records, did not properly maintain the general ledger as a means to hide the improprieties being performed. There was an overall lack of segregation of duties and no oversight from the village council to ensure the general ledger's accuracy, which also led to the failure of maintaining a proper general ledger, in which this man is now in prison. But we need an EFM.
Knock him up.
Wow.
Why not in Stevensville? I don't see commissioners speaking up and saying they support Stevensville being taken over, but you'll support your own citizens being taken over. There's a problem here. Number one, man, I'm gonna be done. I'm just so happy that the Herald Palladium says he's a man with a plan, but he hasn't done nothing in a year. There's a challenge of the grounds of the First Amendment infringement and the Voting Rights Act for disenfranchisement. There's a Chicago lawyer who's going to do a brief next week after Easter about this, which brings up an interesting challenge based on the Headley Amendment. We can keep on going, but the state says you're in a financial crisis, but then you have to bear the burden of an overpriced EFM. So now you're telling me I'm broke, but now I got to pay 6 figures for EFM. But I quote another verse. It says, "A fool with his money will soon depart." And another thing, you give a fool power, and it's as dangerous as giving a monkey a machine gun. The AFL-CIO has taken this matter to the Supreme Court, and let me say this to all the ex-Brownfield members: it is atrocious that someone who has the authority to do something will do it that quickly to try to disenfranchise, again, the people.
That's right.
This is a hostile takeover.
Yes, it is.
If I was making a video game for Benton Harbor, I'd call it Mafia 2011. Which is being controlled by not only the commercial industry, which filters down into the government, which is the federal government, which you have Fred Upton. Go down a step, then you got John Prose. Go down a step, then you got Al Pashoka. So when you talk about Act 72, Act 72 is not a state of Michigan bill. It's a Benton Harbor bill. It's a Marcus Muhammad bill. It's a Commissioner Dwayne Seats bill. It's a Mayor Wilson Cook bill. David Shaw, Juanita Henry, Eddie Marshall, and Dennis Knowles bill. That was the purpose of the bill. Let's not blindfold the bill and act like it was about the state, because who's the first one to enforce the bill? Joe Harris. Who was the state rep to put the bill forth? Your state rep. This is not about the rest of the state of Michigan, boys and girls. This is about the city of Benton Harbor.
That's right.
And how fast can we take these people over?
That's right.
And if we can catch a couple commissioners on the way taking it over, that's good. But I promise you one thing. My fellow colleague said this. He said, if you're in the pulpit, we're going to point you out. And if you're on the council, we're going to vote you out.
All right.
Because the citizens are not going to stand for the malicious belittling of the people. If Joe Harris would take as much time as he is fighting the citizens and fighting the city commissioners, maybe we would be out of deficit right now.
All right.
But he's extending his energy against people instead of the problem.
That's right.
That's right.
Yeah.
So the Al Pashoka bill, you'll soon see it tonight. If you look at the Rachel Maddow show about 9 o'clock, which is national, she's going to be doing a special in Benton Harbor tonight at 9 o'clock, which is going to gain national attention. But let me say this. And I need you to hear me when I say this. Let's hear me when I say this. Don't take the trick for this next election. They're trying to pit it against the council members, but you better realize this, that if you've looked at the ledger who's running, you better believe against every one of you, they got one of their candidates running against you.
Oh, yeah.
In each election, they have their candidates running.
That's right.
So, if you want to be disenfranchised, welcome to Benton Harbor. And let me say this too, because you know I've been guilty of this, and I hope my son is guilty of this. Hope all my friends and family are guilty of this. But I refuse to kiss the boot.
That's right.
All right.
That's right.
I believe that you should work hard to get what you need.
All right.
I believe that an honest day's work is an honest day's pay.
Everybody. Everybody.
But I don't believe in order for me to get elected, I gotta kiss the boot.
All right.
I refuse to be a puppet for the Herald Palladium, for WMBU, WSBT, WSJM, any of these entities that are controlled by Whirlpool.
All right.
I refuse to lay back and die down my speech and start speaking another language because people are pitted against you because you speak up for the second highest tax city in the nation, the state. We're the poorest in the state of Michigan, and yet Joe got a plan.
That's right. Getting paid too.
Joe gotta go. Joe get rich.
Yet they put it on paper that he has basically castrated the commission.
That's right.
But then you have a castrated commissioner speaking up.
Right. Right.
We all in this together.
That's right.
You're not speaking any better than a castrated other commissioner. You're in the same state as we are. So that means if we're all blind as commissioners, we all blind. If we all don't have no power, you don't have no more power.
That's right.
But the question is, what do you stand for? If you don't stand for nothing, you'll fall for anything.
That's right.
I was asked, and I'm going to say this and I'm done. Someone told me, Pastor Seats, why don't you get your church remodeled? Why don't you utilize the entities to get money? Why don't you let them sponsor your campaign? Why don't you get dollars and resources from them? They want to give it to you. Why don't you take it? Because if you take it, you handcuff to a system.
That's right.
And they're not my source. Can I tell you this? This city is not my source. That's why I keep coming here, because they're not paying my bills. I pay for the paper. I pay for the pens down here. I pay for the police here. I pay for Joe Harris being being here.
That's
I
right.
pay for every fire truck being here. The citizens are the payer of the bill.
That's right.
So how can you take the citizens' money, then tell them they gotta pay $250 to go give away free bikes? When you taking $11,000 a month. Now it's going up to $167, but the Herald Palladium won't put that out there. That he's prostituting a impoverished community. They won't put that out there.
That's right.
They won't put that out there, that the reason why they changed the brownfield over and the reason why he assumed our authority, because our last meeting, we tabled that brownfield action and said we're going to table it to find out who's the crooks behind the paper.
That's
That's
right.
right, they're running.
They won't put that in there though.
No.
But they'll put Dwayne Seats gets a mattress put on his property and goes to court. They'll put that on there. They'll put that on there. They'll put the negativity about the commission on there, but then you've never seen this report from the village of Stevensville, but they posted our report in the Herald Palladium to belittle us. Why? Why?
So they can take our city.
Is it because you rich?
No.
It ain't even because you're poor.
No.
It's because we want what you got. And if you don't give it up, we're going to take it by force. And I'm going to tell you this. We can sit around as a people and act like it's not true. But you live it every day.
That's right.
The best thing I found out, is this statement, and I'm done, Mayor, and I do still support you for mayor of the city of Benton Harbor.
Right.
Because even if people don't agree, I didn't see you kiss the boot this year. But the other ones who are running against you,
High tower.
running a short-term meeting, and this is 3 meetings straight, because they think they got the cat in the bag. But again, the same crooked system that gave Richard Marsh a settlement
$192,000.
when they didn't renew his contract, but he puts in the paper to show you his intelligence that Joe Harris don't have enough money to pay him, he'll have to sell a fire truck. This is the mentality of the people that they support. But I'm going to share this with y'all. Roots, when they whooped Kunta Kinte and tried to change his name to Toby, it wasn't for Kunta. It was for all the people that was watching. So when they're persecuting the commission, it ain't about us. It's about all y'all that's watching.
That's right.
To tell you don't stand up, don't speak up, don't say nothing, because your backyard might not be clean enough.
That's
You
right.
notice Joseph didn't say nothing.
But if you go on Detroit News, Joseph Harris don't want to be here no longer.
Oh, good. Yeah.
He wants to go to Detroit to be their EFM. But I'm going to say this, and we can take it to Lakeland.
9 o'clock.
They have cut and dissected Benton Harbor to the point of irreversible repair if we don't stop it right now.
Right now. Right.
It is true
Right.
that if you don't have a fire department, you don't have a police department, you don't have a water department, or if you don't have a library, you will not be a city. And if you are not a city, it cuts off your grant base and the state to give you money to survive. It's true. Act 72 is loaded with language that will strip you of being a city.
That's right.
So Act 72, it's not a bill for the state, it's a bill for the city.
That's right.
The city of Benton Harbor. And I'll be doggone. You know my address, you know my phone number. But before I bow, I'd rather bow out. Because some people have bowed to the point to where they can't stand up.
That's right.